Hey everyone, my name's Stephen Titchener and today we're going to talk about what SEO is going to look like in 2019. So to start with, this is something that is still important already, but I think it's going to become more important this year, and that is responsiveness of your website. So making sure your site works well on a desktop, a tablet, phone, whatever it is. It needs to look good, it needs to be fast, it needs to just work well so that people can use it. This goes on to the speed of your website. So speed is going to be another important factor this year, so making sure your website loads quickly. I know internet is generally getting faster, so large images and having videos on your site isn't as bad now, but you still need to make sure everything on that website is optimized. So if you're custom coding a website, or you've got one custom coded, it's not just about the image size in general, it's also about, is the code clean? Does it work well? Have you got any pieces of redundant code that are just taking up time? Those things that you can refine will really take off a lot of time on your page load speed, which will then not only help the user experience because it's going to load quicker, so then going to spend less time looking at the phone or whatever going, oh, it's not loaded yet. It's also going to help with your SEO score in general. Next up is voice search. At the moment, it's still not really got much traction, and a lot of people are saying voice search is terrible and no one's using it. I've not heard much buzz about it. But if you've got to think of it like YouTube and videos, so the people who started making videos 4, 5, 6 years ago now are really reaping the winnings from that. They're getting so many views, they've got a massive following, they're reaching a lot more people than people who are starting a bit later on and haven't quite got onto the video bandwagon quick enough. So if you can start looking at voice search and making sure your website is optimized for that and the content you're doing is optimized for voice search, then it's really going to help your rankings later on. So it's not something that next month you're suddenly going to see everyone's voice searching everything and no one uses a screen anymore. It's going to be something for a little bit longer in the future. Finally, the last thing is updated content. So there are billions of blogs out there at the moment, and so a lot of those are out of date. So an amazing way to get some really quick value from the content you've already produced is to go through it and update it. So if you wrote an article maybe 2 years ago, go through it, see if the numbers have changed, see if anything you do has changed, update that. It's a fresh blog, it's already got authority, it's already been indexed, people have seen it, but you're just updating it to make it more relevant to now, so people come back to see how things have changed. Maybe you could even write a new blog post saying how things have changed. So updating your content and just creating new content. Make sure everything is as fresh as possible. That way you're going to get a lot of value. People are going to start visiting your site more. Another way it's going to change this year is time spent. So you don't necessarily, as much as numbers help, if you're getting hundreds of thousands of visitors a month, that's awesome and you're doing great. But for the smaller sites out there, a great indicator for Google is how long people are spending on your site. So this is going to show them that your content on your site is quality and people actually want to read it. So you're going to need to start getting people to stay on your site, whether that's going through other blogs, through other content, going through other pages, or even just having one page that's amazing and people stay on it for a long time. You want to try and get people to stay on this page for as long as possible. That's it for this video. I hope you learned something. It was quite a quick one, and I look forward to seeing how SEO changes this year and throughout the next years.